सो जहिले पनि म एउटा कुरा भन्छु कि बिजनेस र अन्टरप्रेन्योरमा बिजनेसम्यान र अन्टरप्रेन्योरमा के डिफ्रेन्स छ भने आई गेट द्याट क्वेसन अ लट अनि सिम्पल एन्सर इज बिजनेसम्यान चाहिँ नि उनीहरूको फर्स्ट इन्टेन्सन इज टु मेक प्रफिट राइट पैसा बाहेक अरू मलाई के पनि चाहिँदैन तर अन्टरप्रेन्योर भनेर चाहिँ नि द फर्स्ट मोटिभ इज टु चेन्ज पिपल्स लाइफ्स right? You want to make a difference. Yeah, you want to make a difference. You want to live behind a legacy. You want to change generations to come. And second money, it's always money, you know. So that's the main difference. And that is what we're seeing right now. And I'm so happy, the way, not just this industry, every other industry is moving forward aggressively in Nepal. Like next 10 years, Nepal will be a completely different nation. So this much, I have अब हामीभन्दा अगाडि आउने बिजनेसेस टु ब्लेम फर होइन किनभने एउटा इम्प्लोइलाई द वे चाहिँ अहिले फर आवर पडकास्ट हामी ट्रेडिसनल बिजनेस भनौँ द वे दे ट्रिट द इम्प्लोइज इट्स लाइक हुन्छ नि यु आई पे देम एन्ड आई एक्सपेक्ट वर्क होइन द्याट्स नट गोज इट सुड बी मोर लाइक अ पार्टनरसिप कि होइन सो वेन यु लुक एट a traditional institute like a bank, and people are walking in there in a tie and a suit, and they clock in. Yeah, they clock in, and they're always watching the clock. They want to go out, and it should not be that way, no? And I always tell this to my employees: okay, you spend the most time in your life at a workplace. होइन दिनमा 10 घन्टा काममा हुन्छ 8 घन्टा सुत्छ बाँकी के नै गर्छ र होइन सो 10 घन्टा इफ यु स्पेन्डिङ इन अ वर्क प्लेस it should not be work it should be your life you know so हामीले completely यसलाई चाहिँ psychology we have to completely turn around and make it a partnership you know this is a place for that person to learn and grow and to make his career and for us to gain out of his time and effort and skill you know so त्यसले गर्दा एउटा एकदमै crucial part also is investment on them you know so a lot of companies what I see
calling them human asset but actually treating them like an asset
as a partner you know so एउटा कुरा दुईटा कुरा मैले अलि डिफरेन्टली गर्छ हाम्रो कम्पनीमा चाहिँ नि so एउटा चाहिँ नि when we say investment we really invest हुन्छ नि like because if they are good then your company is good you know so a lot of companies ma ke huncha like the CEOs they always travel right you always find the CEOs and then traveling mahina ma 15 din ta bairai huncha and they feel so proud of it and then I say stupid and then you don't have to travel let your team travel you know if your managers they're supposed to be in those conferences they're supposed to be meeting people and making their own network and you're not supposed to do that you've already done it that's why you're a CEO so एउटा कुरा चेन्ज गर्नु चाहिँ let other people travel and be exposed.
Let's talk about fundraising, Abba. Since we picked that subject, you've also done. Actually, you've gone through round 2 as well.
Yeah.
So I'm following suit. I'm trying to get there. मलाई पनि धेरै आउने क्वेसन चाहिँ जसले भेटे नि त्यही हो कि दाइ इन्भेस्टरले केमा पैसा हाल्छ so let's talk a little bit and how did you land your first investment and
so before that I mean to let your audience know नेपालमा चाहिँ नि there's this culture is कि lonely नि अनि what I know for a fact is अहिले एकदमै धेरै प्यारेन्ट्सहरू बिजनेस गर्न डराउन चाहिँ नि in their generation bank loan was the only option that was the only option होइन अनि के गर्छ अब you have to put a collateral अनि अब fact says 99% of the business they fail within the first 1 year something like that नेपालमा त it's 99.9% होला होइन so obviously a lot of businesses failed they lost their homes lands अनि त्यो जेनेरेसनको मान्छेहरूले plenty of examples देखे कि so whenever I go to colleges and I ask people how many of you want to be an entrepreneur almost 80-90% they raise their hand and किन नगरे and they have brilliant ideas and capital you know and their parents won't let them do it पनि so त्यो example भनेको it's a wrong example because त्यतिखेरको option was different so right now one thing I want to let your audience know is bank loan is a big no-no you know unless and until you're a very seasoned entrepreneur you've got backups and you know how to make money out of money and pay that interest on top of it you know so unless that is the case don't take loan you know there's so many other options and like you and me the first option is equity chhadecha you know afno sathi bhai so equity let's start with equity you know equity options so when we started Sastodeal so I come from a marketing background so I had this idea to start and a big dream but I just had 50,000 rupees in my bank you know त्यतिखेर I asked people who would build a website 3 lakh 4 lakh रुपियाँ भन्थ्यो एउटा वेबसाइट बनाउनु मलाई होइन so I was like no way I can make that and so instead of giving hope so I tried to figure out a way around so मलाई किन चाहिन्छ त्यो पैसा that was the first question होइन so obviously वेबसाइट बनाउन को चाहिन्छ कोडर एन्ड अ डिजाइनर then I started looking for them होइन अब 5 वर्ष युएसमा बसेपछि अनि lot of my friends were there यहाँ I barely knew few people here so I went on a very painful journey of you know like identifying a good designer and a coder फाइनली उनीहरूलाई भेटाएँ. अब उनीहरू पनि फ्रिलान्सर्सहरू बानी, अब उनीहरूले कहिले सुनेको छैन स्वेट इक्विटीको बारे कि होइन. सो आई टु कन्भिन्स देम हुन्छ नि लाइक यस्तो यस्तो हुन्छ. या and this is our dream. 5 years down the line, this is going to happen. I'm not going to pay you. They're like,
I think we're doing that right now in this second startup. You did it in your first.
They're like, you're not going to pay me. I said, no, I'm not going to pay you. You know? So they came back 2 weeks down the line. They discussed and they said, okay, we're ready to experiment with you. Great. Until today, I still have both of them with me. You know. पछि गएर 2016मा चाहिँ नि, so when the company started to be very popular, then investors come to you. So number one thing I always tell students that I visit and you want to be entrepreneurs or startup entrepreneurs is first you build a brand, you know, because there are like thousands and thousands of companies and very limited people with money to invest. So why would they invest on you, or why would even someone consider you unless you have a good brand? So branding is very important. Like Red Mud भन्ने बित्तिकै, I'm pretty sure 60-70% of people in Nepal or elsewhere, they've heard or seen or have had their coffee in there, you know?
Created a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah, you know? So you need to create that brand. And अब अहिले my wife is starting. Yeah, exactly. So my wife, she started on a company called Khalisisi, you know? That's what Khalisisi is trying to do, not to make money right away. It's just trying to build a good brand that people are aware of, you know. So same to do with Sastodeal. So when we built a good brand, people came to us. Investors, one suggestion is always choose a strategic investor. Once again, if there is someone who's just gonna give you money and write you a check, don't take that. You know, always be looking what after that, and the money will always dry out. Yeah. So, investor. Yeah, exactly. So the first investors that came to us was Televentures. So these people, they owned Colors Mobile and they were the distributors for Gioni. So they were into trading and mobile businesses. You know? So why work with them? Why take their money? Number one, I always knew e-commerce or smartphone, they were very much aligned. Yeah, you know, so 70% of my traffic comes from a mobile device. You know? So to tie up with the mobile brand.
The app I have on my mobile.
Yeah.
Among the few ones.
Okay. So to tie up with the mobile brand, I always knew I could get that kind of synergy and extra value out of them, which I have until today.